Okay, so to start, come down to a seat, and then with a strap, you're going to make a circle. So you'll have to bring the strap into both sides of the D-ring. So I'll get close for this to demonstrate. Through, over the top, and then around, so that you have a loop. If you're using a belt, hopefully it's a bigger belt, make a loop. And if you're using a scarf, you'll just tie it. So you're gonna want to take this over your torso, and then you'll have to adjust this. And if the strap or creative prep that you're using today does not work for this, then you can do Supta or Badaknasana. So Supta means supine. We're going to do this seated. So this is Badaknasana, bound angle. Soles of the feet together, toes out. You pull your heels in as far as feels good. And if you need to, you can always place some props underneath your knees. If you have the strap, what you're going to do is you're going to take the strap, place it over your toes so that it goes on the outside of your feet. And you want to make sure that the D-ring of your strap is not over the bottom of your feet or your back, because first off, that metal piece is going to hurt. And secondly, you're going to tighten it. And then adjust so that on the back side, whatever prop you're using isn't hitting right in your low back. That can kind of put a sway into your spine. Instead, you want it to go around the two hip points and then forward. And then grabbing onto your ankles or onto your shins, you pull yourself nice, tight, and upright. And then, once you've sat here for a while, potentially tighten up that strap a little bit more. All right, and then once you get that strap nice and tight, bring your hands behind you. So you have a nice open chest, and your knees will fall out nice and wide. Again, you can support underneath those with pillows or blocks if you'd like. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Close your eyes. Inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe in and out through your nose. And what I'd like you to focus on internally for tonight's class is the first Yoga Sutra, which is yoga is the restraint of the fluctuation of the mind. So this practice of yoga, be it just a physical practice on the mat, or if you also do maybe meditation or some readings or some other practices, one of the many things that you're trying to do is stop the mind from constantly falling away from where you want it to go. So where your attention gets pulled to rather than where you are directing your attention. And typically, your mind is getting pulled to something that is not in the present moment, either a reflection on the past and an anticipation of the future, but it's not right here, right now. And this physical practice of yoga, especially paired with pranayama or breathing practices, can help ground us into this present moment, into our physical body, and into the sensations that we're experiencing right now. Our mind is concentrated on making the shapes and the movements, on manipulating our breath, and it can start to flutter less, get pulled away in different directions less. And it can be a very relaxing, fulfilling experience. So let's see if we can keep coming back to this restraint of fluctuations, training your mind. So we're going to work into a box breath. Now, if this strap on your hips is too much, you can take the strap away and you can move into a comfortable seated position. Otherwise, stay with the strap where it is. Stay in Badaknasana. Keep your hands pressing behind you so that your spine stays nice and tall. And palms can be lifted to create that length or down, whatever feels and works good with your spine. So a box breath, if you can imagine, is like a square. And so our inhale, which we'll try for 5 counts, holding on the top, 5 counts, exhale, 5 counts, and then holding with no air in, 5 counts, creates a nice even box. All right. So take another breath in. Exhale together. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Consistent exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push all of the air out. Hold on empty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin your inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fill up. Hold on the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin your exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push all of the air out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin your inhale. This time counting to yourself those 5 counts and maybe extending it to a 6 or 7 count if that felt easy. Holding on the top on full, making sure you're taking a last sip of air in. And then when it comes time for your exhale, notice if you push a lot of air out right away. See if you can draw that exhale out all the way through your count. Push all of the air out. And then for me, this last hold, or kumbhaka is the Sanskrit word for hold, with no air in can be the most challenging. Try not to rush your counting, keep it even, and then don't gulp in air, but very steadily, slowly begin your inhale, again, to climb up that box. We'll go through 2 more times. Notice if your shoulders are coming up. See if maybe you can even bend your elbows to relax your shoulders down. Keep your chest nice and open. Last time through, starting with the inhale. Holding at the top. Beginning to release. Holding at the bottom. All right, and then simply inhale and exhale through your nose. Noticing, and maybe you do take now a little bit longer of a break at the top and the bottom. And as you were so concentrated on your breathing exercise, did your mind stay fully present without the physical movement, but just simply focusing on your breath, noticing that sensation in your body? All right, bring your hands back forward. Release the strap, loosening it up, sliding it over your toes. And we will be using this at the end of class. You can keep it in a loop though, and then just move it off to the side. All right, hands to the outside of your knees. Gently pull them back in. And then extend your legs out. Scoop both of your glutes back. I'm going to start the music very quietly. All right. And then with your feet extended out in front of you, I'd like you to flex your toes back and reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, keeping a straight back. Now, don't worry about touching your toes. Instead, focus on keeping your spine nice and long. So your hands might just come down to your shins. If you need to, you can keep your knees lightly off the ground. And inhale, slowly slide back up. Bend your right knee, plant your right foot on the ground. Draw it in. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale your left arm up. And then exhale, take a gentle twist. So option to bring the elbow to the outside of your knee for a deeper twist. You can hug around your knee for a little bit more gentle at the start of the class. Keep your left leg straight, toes flexed back. Inhale, press through your right hand, get nice and tall, and then exhale, twist. You can keep your chin either in line with the center line of your chest or gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, and then exhale, gentle twist. Hopefully this feels good if you have a full tummy. If it's really full, take the little bit more gentle twist option. Slowly release, slide your right leg back forward. Inhale, stretch both of your arms up, keeping a nice straight spine. Exhale, fold, letting your hands come down, shins, maybe knees, maybe toes. Inhale, straighten your back, and then exhale, fold. Letting your chin drop into your chest. Inhale, slowly pull yourself back up. Taking your left leg, draw that in, placing the left foot down on the mat. Sit up nice and tall, bring your left hand behind you, and you want it to come close to the center of your spine, palm down. Inhale, right arm up, and then exhale, taking that gentle twist. Inhale, press through your back hand, straighten your spine up to the ceiling. And then exhale, move your gaze over your left shoulder if you're taking that option, or just deepen the twist, either pulling the knee in more or pressing your elbow to the outside of your leg. Inhale and exhale. Slowly come back into center, release, stretch both feet long. Inhale, arms up. So this is called Dandasana, Scapular Pose. And then exhale, forward. Hanamanasana, hands to feet. But again, hands don't have to make it to your feet. They can make it to your shins. They can make it to your knees. You can also just place them on the outside of your mat. Inhale, straighten your spine, come out slightly. And then exhale, fold. Then this time, closing your eyes. Take 3 breaths here in your fold. Not worried about your spine being straight, but instead focusing on where the expansion occurs in your body as you take that inhale. And then as you exhale, noticing how gravity can take you a little bit deeper. Keep pressing slightly through your feet forward. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Slowly come back up. And then you're going to plant your hands down, scoot your tush a little bit more forward, and then stomp your feet onto the ground. Make sure that your strap or whatever prop you're using is within arm's reach, and then come to lie down on your back. Bring both feet straight up to the sky. And then palms will come down by your side like outriggers. Press them down. Inhale, flex your feet. Exhale, see if you can lift your feet up towards the ceiling. It's a really small movement. My glutes are just barely hovering. I can barely get a finger underneath them, but my lower abdominals are turned on, doing all of the work. Inhale, release your hips down. Now notice I did not pull my toes overhead to do this core movement. Instead, they're trying to go straight up to the ceiling. Exhale, press straight up. Inhale, lower your hips down. Exhale, press straight up. So it's a really small movement. Legs are active. Palms are pressing down, so your triceps are working as well. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, see if you can hold through the inhale. Exhale, flex your toes wide, press your feet up. Inhale, lower your hips down and bring your feet down. All right, so you're gonna take your prop, that is a strap, bring it around your right ankle and then press your right foot back down. Now, if you're using something that couldn't be made into a loop, that's fine. You just wanna bring the middle part of that strap around your right ankle and then reach up with your right hand, find that strap. Gaze down at your femur heads. You want them to be running parallel. And pressing down through your feet, inhale, lift your hips up for bridge pose. Press your feet down, especially those big toe mounds, and then reach over with your left hand, grab the strap that's around your right ankle. So left and right hand around that strap. One can take either side. Walk your arms in, press your hips up, and then really choke up on that strap. Press your hips to the sky. Take 3 breaths. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale. Keep your legs active. You should feel your femur heads, knees drawing slightly forward. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale. Notice a gentle pressure behind your head, pressing down into the mat. Keep your feet firm. Last time. Inhale. Release the strap. Exhale, slowly lower down to the mat. Ooh, move the strap out to the side, lift your right leg up, and then move it off. All right, again, bring your feet straight up to the ceiling. This time, palms down. You're gonna make a diamond shape underneath your sacrum. So you lift your hips up, make that diamond shape. So point your finger down, thumb up towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, lower your feet down any amount. Once you start feeling the pressure lift off of that diamond, stop there. Inhale, back up. Flex your feet. Exhale, lower down. So you want to make sure that your low back is still plugging down. Pause. Inhale, pull your feet back up. Just to perpendicular. Flex your toes. Exhale, down. Flex your toes at the bottom. Inhale, pull them back up. Flex, exhale, lower down. This time, inhale, pull your feet back up, bend your knees, plant your feet down, remove your hand, reach for that strap. Place it around your left ankle. Bring both sides of the strap to the left side. All right, then grabbing the strap with your left hand, gaze down, make sure thighs are parallel, you're choking up, getting close with that left hand towards your ankle. Inhale, lift up. Then work your right arm across, find one side of that strap, choke up, press your feet down, inhale. Pull your chest up, walk your shoulders underneath your chest. Press down firmly through both feet. Take 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can relax a little bit in your glutes so they're not doing all the work. Instead, press more through your feet. Feel the weight lean into your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, keep drawing your knees forward, but don't let the back of your head slide with it. Instead, reach for the crown of your head. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Release the strap, move shoulders out, and slowly lower your spine down. Take the strap, move it off to the side. All right, Supta Badaknasana. Now from here, you're gonna be in the soles of your feet together. Knees open out wide. Again, use the props underneath your knees if that feels more supportive for you tonight. And then you're gonna take the heels of your hands and walk them as high up onto your femur as you can. So you wanna nestle that in to your hip crease. Fingers run down towards your knees. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can straighten your arms. And you might feel this sensation in your low back. So you are manually giving yourself a spinal extension. You're also digging in and providing a little bit of a pressure point on your hip flexors. Inhale, bend your elbows. And then exhale, press heels of the hands into the top of the legs, moving the low body slightly away from the upper body. Inhale, ease up. And then exhale, push. All right, release there. Bring your hands, interlace them, and then whatever pinky you were gonna put on the bottom, switch it up. Just, redoing some of those neural pathways. So the opposite pinky's on the bottom. Then bring your thumbs to the base of your spine, or the top of your spine, base of your skull rather. So you're supporting the weight of your head. Keep your feet down, pressing into each other. Inhale. Exhale, press your low back down. So your pelvis will slightly tilt and then curl up, gazing all the way down between your legs. Inhale, lower down halfway. So the top of your shoulders stay lifted. Exhale, curl up and look through. Remembering to press the low back down. Inhale, lower down halfway. Last time, exhale, curl up and through. And then slowly release. Bring your hands down to the outside of your feet. Slowly bring your knees in and then pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a gentle squeeze. Make little circles with your knees so that you feel that pressure rolling all the way around your sacrum. And then do the opposite direction. Maybe making them a little bit wider. You can bring your hands to the creases of your knees, maybe even rolling into your hip point. Okay. And then lean your hands to your side and roll onto one side. Slowly pressing yourself up into all fours. All right, we're going to move into Dolphin Pose here. Bring your forearms down. Take opposite biceps. So you're setting up your elbows, shoulder width distance apart, and then place your palms down, pressing them into the mat, spreading your fingers wide. Drop the crown of your head down towards the mat. It still is going to stay lifted. We're going to do some scapular push-ups here. So inhale, press your spine up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let them sag. So you feel your shoulder blades coming together on your back. Inhale, press up, feel your shoulder blades spread wide away from your spine. Exhale, let your chest drop down, shoulder blades pinch. Inhale, spread wide, hold, tuck your toes, gaze back to your toes, and lift your legs up into dolphin. Press through your thumb, press through your pointer finger. Inhale, walk your toes in, and then exhale, pressing through your forearms, transfer more weight into your feet. Open your chest. Relax your head, let it hang and dangle down. Inhale, press into your forearms. Lift your hips high. Exhale, heels come down. Taking 2 more breaths. Yoga is the restraint of the fluctuations of the mind. So here in Dolphin Pose, breathing to keep yourself present. Notice if your mind has stayed in the sensation, in the pose, and in your breath. And if it hasn't, try counting your breaths. Try adding a little bit more for your mind to do to stay in the present moment and in your body. Gently bring your knees down to the mat. Come up into all fours. And then you're going to bring your knees wide. Big toes together to touch. Press your hips back, coming into child's pose. Stretch your fingers forward and relax the crown of your head down. Inhale. Exhale, using your hands, see if you can press your hips farther back. Inhale, lift your gaze to your hands. Keep your knees wide and then pull yourself forward. Rock to the inside of your knees. Bring your big toes up and then let your hips come down. Keep your big toes touching. Press your palms into the mat. Stretch your chest forward. All right, so this is a nice opening in our abdominals, all of the digestive organs. Pull your chin slightly up, gaze slightly up. Keep your big toes touching, maybe even pulling your heels a little bit closer. So a lot like upward facing dog, we want to open up our chest, keep our legs engaged, and then hips drawing down towards the mat, but not quite touching. Release your legs long. Come up, tuck your toes, and then lift up, downward facing dog. If you need to check your hand to foot distance, you can always rock forward into plank. Maybe walk your feet back slightly so heels are over your toes, shoulders are over your wrists, then bend your knees and come back, downward facing dog. And pedal out your legs slightly here. Take 3 breaths, spreading your fingers, pressing your palms down into the mat, especially the spot between your thumb and your pointer finger. So a lot of times that part of the hand starts to lift off the mat. You want to glue it down. That'll take the forearms and actually give them an internal rotation. On your next breath in, really expand into your upper back. Feel your shoulder blades pull wide like we did in that scapular push-up. That is going to bring an outward rotation to your upper arms. So it's like you got a reverse candy cane in and then it switches directions out. All right, lots to think about. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, bring your left knee forward between your elbows. Draw your thigh up to your ribs, point your toes. Inhale, bring your left leg high. Bend your knee and stack your hips. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, draw it through. Draw your core up and in. Inhale, stretch high. Exhale, stack your hips. Inhale, left leg straight. Exhale, draw it through, thigh to ribs. And now this time step your left foot by your left hand. Tense your fingertips, draw your chest forward. And then gaze down to your right foot, pivot on the ball of your foot, and then plant the heel so that that foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Leading with your right hand, inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Make sure your heel lines up with the inside of your arch. You have a nice broad wingspan. Gaze can either be in the midline, so chin lined up with torso, or gaze can be over your front fingers. Take a breath in. Exhale, can you bend a little bit deeper into this front knee? One more inhale. Exhale, reverse warrior. All right, keep committed in that front knee. Now feel a pulling away as though you could lift those side ribs a little bit more from that femur, from that front thigh. Arm up overhead, palm down. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. And then exhale, drop your hands directly back behind you. Interlace them. Again, take the opposite interlace of what you were going to take. So opposite pinky on top, press your palms together. Inhale, open your chest. Keep your warrior two legs. And then imagine as though that front knee was like an opposite magnet to this front shoulder, and bend down, bisecting your legs. So we're not doing an humble warrior. Instead, the shoulder and the front knee don't meet. Drop your head down. Maybe lift your arms up. Ostrich pose. Now, that front thigh might be burning a little bit. Maybe it's just me. Whew. It's a little bit hard to find your balance here too. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, let your hands come down to your sacrum, let them break, and come down under your chest. Inhale, lift up halfway. Take your right hand, and so I am not mirroring you. Bring it back one handprint. Bend again deep into this front left leg. Take your left hand, heel of the hand up into the inner thigh, fingers towards your knee, and then exhale. Draw that left knee forward. Ooh, inhale. Keep engaged in this back leg. Work your hand maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower on that inner thigh. And then exhale, push it forward. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Release that left hand down. Walk both hands to the inside of your left leg. Peel the back heel up and then lower your right knee down to the mat. We're gonna go into a runner's lunge, but we're also gonna stay here for a little bit. So if you need a little extra cushion underneath that right knee, fold up your mat. I'm taking the extra cushion because this is the knee that I fell on. Ah, so painful. All right, so you can keep the toes tucked or untuck those toes. Maybe come down to elbows. What I do want you to do though, with this left leg, is make sure that now the magnets want the left shoulder and the left knee to touch. So we're not dropping to the outside edge like a nuclear pigeon. Instead, we're keeping our hips very square as we drop down. Breathe in and breathe out. Time inhale and exhale. Slowly bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. And then you're gonna work yourself up onto this front thigh. Draw your knee forward so that you're an acute angle, right? This right thigh to the mat, and then begin to bend the right knee. You're gonna keep your left hand on your left knee, left thigh, and reach back with the right hand, heel to butt. Now, if this right hand and this right foot don't meet, then take your strap, just come down, set yourself up, bring the strap around that right ankle out to the side, re-establish your lunge, reach back with your right hand, grab the straps, and then come forward. Right, with this left hand, you're reminding that left knee to keep drawing in towards midline. Bend your right elbow, pull your heel in a little bit closer to your butt. Keep your core engaged. Notice we kind of just started to sag a little bit, get a little loose in your lunge, reintegrate, keep your core engaged, keep your chest lifted. And then if you'd like to, you can take the left hand, bring it back, find your right foot, and draw it a little bit closer in. Whatever your full expression of this pose is, get there now. And then again, take 3 breaths. So when we find stillness after we set ourselves up in these positions is where it's really easy to let our mind float off to something else. Instead, notice where the breath goes in your body, and if there's an area that's really tight, see if you can channel your breath to that spot. Slowly release the right foot. Let it come down and bring both hands down. This time framing your left foot. Start to shift back, straightening your left leg, pulling your left toes up. Arta, Hanamanasana, half splits. I like to walk my heel a little bit more forward. So my right hip, my right knee stack, and then pull your left hip back so your hips are nice and square. Holding slightly over. And then we've played a little bit with toe positions. So if you really like that stretch across the front of the foot, then you can bring your left toes across to midline and push forward. Keep pulling your left hip flexor back. Plant your right hand down and take your left thumb. See if you can actually manually pull that hip back. And that might get a little bit too in your IT band. Okay. And then slowly release, bring the left toes back up. Pull the left heel in slightly and rock forward into your lunge. Tuck your right toes. Remove any cushion. And then step back, downward facing dog. If you have the strap, untangle yourself, move it off to the side. Take 3 breaths here in your downward facing dog, spreading your palms, thinking about pressing down more through the thumb side, internally rotating your forearms. And then externally rotating your upper arms. Okay, then inhale, slowly lift the right leg. Exhale, bend your right knee, bring it forward through your thighs, pull it up. Draw your navel up and in. Point those toes back. Inhale, right leg comes long. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hips. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, forward and through. Inhale, up. And then exhale, bend. Last time, inhale, straighten. Exhale, pull it through. And then plant your right foot by your right hand. Pull your palms up. Draw your chest through, nice high lunge, and then gaze back at your left foot and plant it down. So I'm going to switch sides on the mat so I'm still facing you. So left foot is the back foot down, draw your right knee forward, then leaning with your left hand, come up, Badaknasana 2, Warrior 2. Stack heel in line with your arch. Draw your right knee forward, opening that thigh up, and then reaching your arms long. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Again, move your gaze so either chin is in line with your chest or over your front fingers. Expand. Exhale, sit a little bit deeper into your lunge. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, reverse warrior. Keep your knee drawing forward. Pull your right ribs away from that leg. Keeping it in the side body, not letting it go into the low back. Inhale, come back up. Drop both hands down. Interlace your palms. Bring your palms together to touch. Open your chest. Now keeping this right knee drawing back. Exhale, bend down between your legs. Not letting your right shoulder and your right knee meet. Finding a little balance. I actually like to bend my back leg just slightly so that I have a little bit more control of how to move the weight to find a balance here. Pull your palms off of your low back, let your head hang. And then exhale, bring your hands down, let them crack on your low back and palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, pull up halfway. Exhale, take the left hand, slide it back, one handprint, right hand up to the inner thigh. Pull the heel of your hand as high up as you can go. Inhale, and then exhale, walk it out, push forward. Inhale. You can make an adjustment. This also starts to manipulate some of the fascia. Exhale, pull forward. So fascia is that layer between the skin and your muscles that can get really tight. Inhale. Move your heel, maybe up or down. Exhale, push forward. And let your right hand come down. Inhale, walk yourself to the front. So the right leg. Finding a runner's lunge, you're gonna cushion that side of the mat. Bring your left knee down. And then from here, now your shoulder and your knee wanna be like Velcro, stuck together. Walk your hands maybe forward. Bend your elbows, maybe bring your forearms all the way down, maybe just letting them hover. Ooh. So we have nice square hips. That left hip flexor is getting nice and open. Breathing, let it be a slow process, and then we'll start to add that little manipulation. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. And then if you know that you're probably going to want the strap, loop it around your left leg now. And then bring both hands up to your right knee in the front. Draw your right knee forward. Hips are square to the front of your mat. Keep the right hand, and so I like to keep it just right at the meaty head of my quad and just the palms slightly guiding that leg in. And then bend your left knee. Come forward. Make sure that you're not on your kneecap, but instead you're more on the head of the quadricep. Reach back with your right hand, capture the top of your right foot, come back forward. Immediately, if you start to feel any compression in your low back, it means that you've probably let your stomach go. You're disengaged from the core. I can't help but think of like a cow with udders, like the udders are just hanging out. So pull that in, press through the front leg, keep that knee drawing in, and re-square your shoulders forward. Then take your left hand or right hand, maybe, reach it back to that left foot. So find the deepest hold where you feel this lunge the most. And then take your 3 breaths, this time in silence. Okay, slowly move your right hand back to your right thigh, and then let your left foot slip out of your left hand. Come down to frame your right foot, and then press your right leg towards straight. Curl the right toes up, maybe walk that right heel a little bit forward. Oh, I took this mat camping. I have quite dirty feet now. All right. It's like, I got a good tan. Nope, just dirt. All right, draw your right femur head back, stack left knee, left hip. And exhale, fold down. All right, maybe you can pivot a little bit on that heel. And if you liked that variation of drawing the toes in towards midline, you can take that. Planting down the left hand, take the right thumb, maybe draw it up, hook it into your right hip and draw it back. Breathe in and out. One more inhale and exhale. Release that hand. Bring your right toes back up. Untuck your mat. Plant your right foot down, plant your hands down, and step back to downward facing dog. Press your palms into the mat. Take a couple breaths here. In and out. One more time, inhale and exhale. And slowly start to walk your feet forward so that your toes come behind your wrists. Let your head hang down, sway slightly side to side. And inhale, come all the way up to standing. All right. So we're going to put a little bit of an IT band stretch, and then move into our balancing posture for the night. You're going to take your right foot, move it back, outside, and then up over or behind rather your left. And I like to think of the feet matching like puzzle pieces. So the pinky toe edge slides in right at the outside cut of your foot, and then the toes are just slightly back about a half footprint. Now, this might be really hard to balance, and so you can always take the feet a little bit wider. Inhale, reach your arms up. Take the right hand, start to reach it overhead and grasp that wrist rather, and then start to stretch overhead. The front knee, so this is your left knee, can start to bend to deepen the stretch. The back leg, you want to keep straight. Keep pulling, and then actually find yourself coming into a fold, moving your hands over to the left side. Walk them more over to the left. Let your head come down. So when you are up here, you get the head of the IT band, so more on the outside of the hip. And then as you make that transition down, as though you're running along the length of your IT band, at least for me, I start to feel this now at the base where it connects into the side of your knee. And walk your hands back into center and unwind your legs. Bend your knees gently. Inhale, come all the way up. Lift your arms up. Gentle bend in your knees. Lift your left leg. Slide it back, behind, and then nestle it in to your right foot. Your right knee can start to bend, but keep your left leg straight. All right, now left arm reaches up and overhead. Capture that wrist. Start to stretch it overhead. Again, your legs can be wider to have a bigger base. And you want to feel like you're bowing and stretching the outside of this hip point. Keep breathing. Then slowly start to take it down. Ooh. See if you can keep it real slow. And then fingertips down to the floor. You bend in that front leg. Walk your hands over to the side. Chin in towards your chest. We'll take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breath in. And breath out. And walk your hands back into middle. Unwind your feet. Bend your knees gently. Inhale, come all the way up. All right. All nice and warmed up in this area. Let's take this into a balancing posture. Natarajasana, dancer's pose. All right, so we're going to start with our right leg, and I'm going to do this from the side instead of from the front, because I think you got a better visual. All right, so standing upright, you're going to keep your left foot as the base and lift your right heel up. Bend your right knee, and then you want to reach down with your right hand, palm towards the outside, capture the inside of your right foot. So your palm is pushing into the arch of your foot, and your thumb is pressing into the big toe mound. So the pad just behind the big toe. Zip that right knee back in towards midline. So we don't want that knee to travel out to the side. That also brings the right hip down. Reach your left arm up and gaze directly forward in front of you. Right away, engage your core so we don't have, cow udders just hanging out. Again, you might notice that right away, with a little compression in your low back. Once you draw your navel in, you're lengthening out the very base of your lumbar spine. And then start to kick your right hand, or right foot rather, into your right hand. Now notice how I didn't pitch forward. Instead, I want you to keep your chest open, left arm lifted as you kick your right foot into your right hand. Gentle bend in your standing leg. And inhale and exhale. Re-engage your core. Feel your right shoulder starting to open. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, maybe kick a little bit more, foot into hand. Last time, inhale. And then exhale, slowly release and come down. Bring your feet out wide. And then just take some gentle hip circles, rolling it out. All right, one more side. We'll go right into that. Okay, so I'll do the opposite side. Keep your right foot grounded. Bring your left heel up and then bend your left knee. So you want your left arm to open out, palm is out, your forearm is out to the side. Reach down and capture the inside of your left foot. So your palm can press into the arch, thumb into the mound right behind your big toe. Get a nice good grip. Move your gaze back forward, not to the screen, but to something that's not moving. Reach your right arm straight up. Zip your left knee in so that it's not going out to the left side, and drop your left hip down. And slowly start to kick into your hand with your foot. Keep your chest lifted. Pull your navel in. Take 2 more breaths to find a nice full expression of the pose. If you fall, you can just come back. You could also find a wall. So you don't want to be opening out to the side, kind of like this looks, but instead, shoulders, hips, square forward. And then take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Gentle bend in that right knee. Inhale, press foot into hand. Exhale. And last time, lift your chest a little bit higher. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly release. Bring your feet wide. Take little hip circles, roll it out. And then out in the opposite direction. Okay. And then spin your toes out, heels in this wide leg stance. Inhale, reach your arms up. See if you can lift your kneecaps, engage your quads. Bring your palms together and then exhale, drop down into Malasana. If you need to, you can always have your heels lifted, feet really, really wide. Press your palms into each other and then use your elbows to open your knees wide. We're gonna actually let our hands drop. Press through your feet, come back up. Reach your arms up, and then as your palms come together, imagine that you're pulling your energy back into midline. Palms touch. Exhale, drop down. Drop into your body. Elbows to the inside of your knees. Let your thumbs rest on your heart. Maybe even close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Feel that you're pulling all of this energy back right into midline, right into the space of your heart, your hips, all the way along your spine, back of the head. And then last time, let your hands drop out. Engage through your feet, press up. Lift your kneecaps, engage your quad. I automatically flex my toes up. That helps me find that engagement, like I'm really pressing into the floor. Pads come together. Exhale, drop down. Your breath in and a breath out. Notice even here in your pelvic floor, if you're not engaging there, if you're letting it drop out, and it almost feels like the energy is actually dropping out of the pose. See if you can actually pull your pelvic floor slightly up and in. And then bring your hands down. Find the outside of your mat. Stretch forward. Let your chin drop down. Then move one hand and then the other behind you so you can gently set your hips down. Extend your legs wide and slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Either stay here with feet wide, toes dropping out, or bend your knees, letting Badaknasana be your final pose for the evening. Hands can be out by your side, or especially if you're in Badaknasana, I sometimes like to let my palms drop down onto either hip point. Fingers resting in towards the pelvis. Letting your breath flow in and out through your chest without any restriction, elongation, manipulation. And then if you have Supta Badaknasana, we'll just use one hand to gently guide yourself over into a fetal position. If you're in traditional Shavasana, draw your knees up and then fold over. Gently pressing yourself up, take a comfortable seat. Bring your palms together to heart center. Yoga is the restraint of the fluctuation of the mind. Notice here, do you feel yourself a little bit more focused, a little bit more at ease? Potentially like your cup is full rather than depleted. Gently draw your thumbs up to third eye center. Be curious. Follow your bliss. Namaste.